Are you leaving money on the table by wasting energy? Or are you taking control of your energy use and optimizing your business's bottom line? Welcome to our channel where we dive into the world of energy efficiency and sustainability. And today we're exploring why every business, no matter the size or sector, can benefit from energy efficiency advice. So whether you're an energy advisor, engineer, sustainability officer, or a business owner looking to cut costs and boost performance, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Bruce Strauss from the Sustainability Education Academy. So what is energy efficiency advice? And before answering this question, you've probably heard of the term energy audit. An energy audit being a comprehensive assessment of a building or facility's energy usage. Think of it as a health check for your business's infrastructure. The goal is to identify where energy is being used efficiently, where it's being wasted, and where there are opportunities for improvement. By analysing energy consumption patterns, an energy audit helps you understand exactly how your business uses energy, what's driving your costs, and what you can do to save. Now you probably think, couldn't every business benefit from an energy audit? Actually, the answer to that is no. And that's for three reasons. Firstly, the cost. For a business that uses very little energy, such as that of a home-based freelancer, an energy audit will simply cost too much to be worthwhile. Energy audits typically follow a standard, whether that be ISO 50002, EN 16247, ASHRAE Guideline 211, Australia Standard New Zealand Standard 3598. The standard, whichever standard is used, prescribed what must be included in the audit, and paying for a audit that adheres to the standard, which is quite a lot of work, even if it's only a level 1 or a type 1 audit, for a micro business it just doesn't make economic sense. For example, if the audit costs the equivalent of 2 or 3 years of energy consumption, why would you bother? And by the way, an energy audit actually doesn't save you any energy, it just provides you with a business case or roadmap on how to cut your energy consumption. So a micro business could actually better spend the money that would go into an audit by upgrading a computer or monitor, maybe upgrading their lighting, or maybe just paying for a little bit of energy efficiency advice. Interestingly, various state or federal governments have for at least 2 decades now tried to help small and medium enterprises cut their energy use by subsidising or even fully funding energy audits. And by and large, the results have been disappointing, which leads me to the second reason why not every business is appropriate for an energy audit. Basically, an energy audit gives you some advice, but then it takes expertise and costs time and money to implement the measures that save energy. For example, some of the expertise might be involved in changing the lighting. You need to be an electrician to do that. Now, however, the measures put forward by energy audits are often not that straightforward. Put simply, energy efficiency is not business as usual for many small enterprises, and they don't have the skills to implement the energy audit's recommendations. Now, probably they could outsource it, but it's often a lot of work to manage the outsourcing, get the contractors in, and often for not much benefit considering that energy may only represent 1 or 2% of total business costs, so therefore they don't bother. Now, having said that, energy efficiency advice, which may be simply no more than a 30-minute or 1-hour conversation, will be of benefit to every business, I believe. Energy efficiency advice, well, preferably to every business, energy efficiency advice provided by someone who is an expert in energy efficiency, expertise often gleaned by undertaking many energy audits, can be tailored to quickly zoom in and identify affordable and easy to implement quick wins that will cut energy consumption. It doesn't include a vast amount of analysis, it just includes a bit of a discussion with an expert. The energy efficiency advisor asks questions, identifies areas of energy wastage, and makes suggestions on how to minimize this wastage. Now, the third reason that a business may not benefit from an energy audit is because the business is actually already very efficient. In my experience in taking energy audits of literally thousands of buildings, it's not that common, but it's still possible. I've looked at buildings where I think I can't really help much here. Now, as I said, it's not very common, but it does happen. Now, some businesses are actually already very good at managing their energy usage. Now, there may be some additional opportunities to reduce energy consumption that I can identify, but often such measures may be just cost prohibitive and not worth it. So now I want to look at the energy audit process and how a good energy auditor can adapt this process to provide cost-effective energy efficiency advice, which is much cheaper than doing a full energy audit. So the energy audit process is really methodical and data-driven. Typically begins with work before you go to the site, where the auditor will collect information about your building's energy systems. It'll ask for your bills, your historical bills. It'll try to get bills for 2 years. It'll put the data into a spreadsheet and start analysing them. It'll ask for your operational schedules, your asset register. You'll be asked for your building plans. And then this is followed by a detailed on-site assessment where the auditor examines everything that uses energy, all your energy consuming systems: lighting, heating, ventilation, cooling, insulation, if it's an industrial facility, compressed air, steam, boilers, motors, pumps, fans, etc. And so there's a fair bit of work involved in that on-site assessment. And during that on-site assessment, the energy auditor will get nameplate data on each equipment, which identifies its power consumption or gas consumption. It will try to identify what hours it runs, how much energy it consumes. The energy auditor will try to build an energy use breakdown, which, based on all this information collected, will show, well, you've got X percentage going for this energy use, another Y percentage for that, and so on. The energy auditor will also review your control settings, your maintenance records, and occupancy patterns. The auditor may also interview staff to understand their operational habits that could impact energy use, such as equipment that runs for extra long hours when it's not needed to, or temperature set points that may be higher or lower than necessary. And then once all this data is collected, the energy auditor moves to the analysis. They may use specialised tools and software to analyse energy consumption patterns, identify anomalies, and benchmark the building's performance against other similar facilities or industry standards. This analysis will often reveal hidden inefficiencies, such as equipment cycling on and off too frequently, maybe simultaneous heating, or systems running outside of occupied hours. And the final step is the recommendations phase, where the energy auditor compiles a comprehensive report that outlines specific opportunities for energy savings and lists for each the costs and benefits. We'll typically prioritise these recommendations, maybe based on their payback or the level of risk involved. And the best reports also provide a clear implementation plan, so you know exactly what steps to take. Now, if you're following a standard, it has certain things you need to do in order to adhere to the standard. That actually adds up to quite a lot of work. The beauty of standards, however, is they do ensure that you have a comprehensive assessment, which is actually valuable if you're following the standard effectively. Now, an energy auditor who has experienced energy audits and who has good knowledge of different technologies and how they use energy and how to save energy with them can adapt this process, just take elements out of it, to provide tailored energy efficiency advice at much lower cost without going through all the steps needed for an energy audit. So typically such an advisor can, half an hour or two, depending on the size of the facility and who they're talking to, what information is available, and based on recent energy bills, maybe plans of the building, or even a photo of a fire plan, an exit safety plan, and then having a question and answer session, and that can even be on the phone with the person who knows the facility well, can then identify the relative efficiency of the building and make some practical suggestions for reducing it. And I've done this myself. At the same time, the energy auditor can also ask some questions to assess the likelihood that the advice will be implemented. So then, now let's look at where energy efficiency advice is best suited and when is in an energy audit, which is more detail best suited. And first, let me just state something that's absolutely essential to both an energy audit and energy efficiency advice. It's essential that the energy user be willing, after receiving the advice, to spend some time, effort, and money to implement the advice in the energy audit. If that willingness isn't there, if the energy user, is coming to you without the intent to move forward and implement, it's a waste of time for both parties. If you're the energy auditor, you might as well work away, and if you're the person who wants the advice, why do you want it if you're not? In my experience, businesses that are bad candidates for advice or an energy audit are ones that are badly managed or are clearly perhaps only doing the audit because someone else paid for it, like the government, and actually have no idea about what's involved. On the other hand, a business that is committed to cutting energy costs or its carbon footprint, it's not a matter of if it's going to do it, it's a matter it will do it. They understand that this will require an investment of time and money. And they're great candidates for energy efficiency advice if it's a small or micro business, or a complete energy audit if it's a medium or large size business. So in my opinion, however, if we focus now on the medium or large size businesses, a medium or large size interest which is interested in cutting its energy costs or carbon footprint, but not firmly committed to do, is actually best suited to a less expensive round of energy efficiency advice and not so much an energy audit. The energy efficiency advice is a much smaller investment, and the advisor, as part of the conversation, can ask questions about how you're going to implement, what resources do you have funding, and push the business towards getting more serious about cutting its usage of energy, and actually towards making a firm commitment to not that, yeah, we might do this, to yes, we want to do it, and therefore we're going to go ahead and implement. So what are the benefits of cutting energy usage? Why should your business, if you operate a business, invest in reducing its energy usage? I want to tell you that the benefits can be both immediate and give you benefits in the long term. Firstly, it can lead to significant reductions in your energy costs. By identifying and addressing inefficiencies, businesses often see savings of 10 to 30% on their utility bills. Now, these savings go straight to the bottom line. They're pure profit. They improve profitability without sacrificing comfort or productivity. Beyond cost savings, taking action to reduce energy wastage can help improve operational efficiency. And when your energy systems are optimized, they run more smoothly, require less maintenance, and are less likely to break down unexpectedly. This means fewer disruptions, lower repair costs, and a more reliable working environment for your staff. Another major benefit, which is a driver for quite a few people, is the enhanced sustainability. Reducing energy consumption means reducing or cutting your carbon footprint, which is increasingly important for climate stability in terms of temperature, for meeting regulatory requirements, for achieving perhaps a sustainability certification, and also for appealing to environmentally conscious customers and investors. It should be good for the planet and good for business. So an energy efficient business is also better positioned to adapt to future changes in energy prices or regulations. If you've cut your energy consumption by 30% and the price goes up by 30%, actually you're back to where you started, but you're certainly not worse off. So how do you take your business's energy efficiency to the next level? So if you're serious about maximizing your energy efficiency, really cutting out wastage, cutting your costs and your carbon footprint, getting energy efficiency advice or undertaking an energy audit is actually just the beginning. Then you've got to go ahead and implement the recommended improvements, monitor your progress, and continue to look for new opportunities as your business evolves. Now, only implementation of the advice you receive will cut your business's energy use and improve its energy efficiency advice or energy audit. Doesn't cut it, it just tells you what to do. However, knowing what to do is pretty important because, especially if you're in a larger business, you've got many uses of energy, there can be complex interactions between them, and you really want someone who's an expert to advise you. And so what skills or qualifications should you be looking for in an energy advisor or an energy auditor? On the certification side, you want to look for someone with an investment grade energy auditor, IGEA certification. You also look for someone who's got experience in undertaking energy audits, preferably energy audits in facilities that are similar to yours. It's also something important to look for. Now, perhaps counterintuitively, if you want someone just to provide energy efficiency advice, that actually requires just as much skill as someone who undertakes the more comprehensive energy audit. An advisor basically has to very quickly identify where the quick win savings opportunities are, things that you can implement easily. And without the knowledge and experience of a competent energy auditor, will actually struggle to do so. So how do you then get the most from an energy efficiency advisor or an energy auditor? So to get the most from the energy efficiency advice you provide, I'm going to give you 3 things you need to do. Firstly, I know I keep repeating, but you need to understand this. You need to understand that to get the benefits of the energy efficiency, you need to spend time and money to act on that advice. Be prepared to do so. Get the advice or the energy audit, not because you're just curious about how to save energy, but because you are committed to cutting your energy costs. Secondly, help the advisor or energy auditor by providing them with the information they request from you. And they're going to actually request quite a lot of information, and it may take you quite a bit of time to collect that information. Things like energy bills, plans, asset registers, and so on. Thirdly, make it clear to the energy advisor or energy auditor that you expect good advice. If a business case is being provided, as is the case with an energy audit, where they'll list costs and benefits, be very clear that you expect the costs involved in implementing the energy efficiency measures and the savings achieved to be more or less what the advice tells you it will be. And a common mistake that energy auditors make, well, they'll underestimate costs and overestimate the savings. If you're going to make some business investments, and you'll have to, acting on the advice of the audit, have a standard and expect the energy auditor to be providing you good advice that is trustworthy and it doesn't paint a picture that's too good to be actually true. Now, the Sustainability Education Academy actually has an entire short course on this topic. It's called Commissioning, Managing and Reviewing an Energy Audit. And this course was actually born out of my frustration as an energy auditor in working for clients who actually weren't really ready for an energy audit. I just got so frustrated that I've gone and developed this course And it's focused on the client, but if you're an energy auditor, I think you should also take it to get the client's perspective. I highly recommend it if you want to get value out of the energy efficiency advice you receive, because unfortunately, there's a lot of bad advice. There's a lot of advisors out there who could do a lot better with their work. Let me put it that way. So if you're going to get energy efficiency advice, take this course. It will help you select an advisor and hold that advisor accountable for providing great advice and actually help you move forward to reducing your energy consumption. Now, what if you want to become an energy efficiency expert yourself? How do you do that? I'd suggest that you consider pursuing professional training or certification in energy auditing. Programs like the Investment Grade Energy Auditor certification from the Sustainability Education Academy, also known as the IGEA certification, it provides comprehensive training in audit, data analysis, and how to engage with clients to move forward with your recommendations. And we actually only certify those who've proven their ability to deliver an investment grade energy audit. And in order to prove their ability, they've actually got to do an investment grade energy audit, which gets assessed and gets assessed very critically. So by building your skills, you can then help drive meaningful change for your clients you provide energy advice to, or if you're in a large organization with multiple facilities, you can then use those skills to drive significant savings in your organization and begin to position yourself as a leader in energy efficiency. So to summarize, every business can probably benefit from energy efficiency advice that uncovers opportunities for energy savings, operational efficiency, and sustainability. But it's only worthwhile getting the advice if the business is actually prepared and wants to take action on the advice provided and is really committed to actually investing time and money to reducing its energy consumption. Now, I'd encourage you to start your energy efficiency journey today, because the sooner you act, the sooner you're going to see the benefits. So to wrap up, you can learn more by taking the short course, Commissioning, Managing and Reviewing an Energy Audit, if you want your business to benefit from energy efficiency and you want to get advice in to help you do that. Or if you want to become an energy efficiency expert yourself and have a background in engineering or similar, in the links below you'll see we can undertake some lessons for free from the Investment Grade Energy Auditor certification at the Sustainability Education Academy. So you can enhance your skills, drive meaningful change, have a meaningful career, and contribute to a more sustainable future. Now, if you have questions or want to learn more about energy audits and energy efficiency strategies, just leave them below in the comments. I'd love it to get more content on this topic.